Hello, back with another weekly challenge. Uh, Clockstopper again. I got all zeros again. You saw in the thumbnail. But this time it's a pretty different build, so I thought it was worth posting. As always on the first wave, I'm aiming away from the mobs to let them get on top of me before I kill them, so I collect the spark for full XP rather than just reclamation value. Reroll for a bloom cannon. On the level up stuff I'm looking for in this build, range is still good, but crit is the number one thing I'm looking for. And I'm going to build the bloom cannon into either induration or fulguration, whichever one the game gives me first, without having to spend rerolls on it. And on this third wave, you can aim away from mobs for the most part too. It's just the helicopter guys and the like worm guys you got to keep an eye on, because they can do a lot of damage really fast. Got a little bit of range, that's nice. Even I guess I'm not building assurance this time, as you'll see here. Pick up the strike reflex, which you might think is strange because I don't have a special yet. The next few waves are going to be pretty hard to get through, pretty RNG. But once I unlock the special, I'll be a lot more stable. Potency's good. I got the white gem and no purple gem, so I'm going to be building towards fulguration. Even though I don't have assurance, range is still nice because it increases your pickup radius. So you just end up getting more XP, so you get more level ups, since you can't move around to pick up the sparks. So range is still a really good stat. I think I would still, if I had the choice between range and crit at this point in the game, I'd still probably pick the crit. On this wave is just super RNG to get through. You mostly just rely on getting good level up timers, and hopefully you have a range or two by then. But you can just randomly die in that wave, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Picked up Blood Temple. I go into the boss, I only use 2 stacks. And then I'm just hoping I get heals. And one annoying thing is, you see how Mirage is doing the fire staff right now on the shifting staff. When it's in fire mode, it can't crit. It does no direct damage. It just applies burn. So that can be a little scary. But I've wanted to try this build for a while, the Strike Reflex Blood Temple on Clockstopper, and just like heal through all the damage. But I don't think there's been a good week for it yet. And I think the reason it's good this week is that there's no mortal wounds, obviously. That makes this challenge so much easier. And there's Fragmented affix, so all my weapons start with fragmentation on them already. So more hits from the fragmentation means more crits, means you'll proc strike reflex a lot more often. So I think that's why it works particularly well this week. More range is good. You could go blocker physical there. And then I think Last Resort's probably the best thing to pick up here, since I have Blood Temple. I can control my health, but Lethal Strikes is good too. You see, I think I ripped 3 stacks there, maybe 4 stacks. Now I'm basically just staring at my HP, and if I get up to like high health, like right here, I should use some more Blood Temple stacks. But if you get to like half health, you know, you're taking lots of damage from all the mobs and from the boss. I don't know if it's better to like take out the mobs here or to just focus fire the boss. I decided to mostly focus fire the boss and seemed to work out. But it might be better to take out the mobs and do a more slow approach. Also, you can just get lucky on this wave if the boss does 2 attacks on top of you instead of leaving. I completed the fulguration. If the boss does 2 attacks on top of you instead of leaving, you'll get so much more like high DPS uptime. Once the boss moves away from you and kind of gets out of your range, because all of your weapons are spread, your DPS is like pretty low, so the fight takes a long time. And you see with the fulguration complete, those blue missiles are going everywhere now. I just have like way more bullets, and since I have Blood Temple, I'm not using Blood Temple stacks as aggressively as I should here, I think. Basically, my goal would be to use the Blood Temple down to like 60%ish, just so I have a cushion if I take some damage. But also, I want to use as much HP as I can to stack up the buff. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd be surprised if I picked the crit there. I like, I want more range. Armor's nice. Soul River is the heavy weapon you're looking for. It's just the best one. Potency's great. And I got a Lightstone, which is really nice. More healing. I'm gonna throw it on the Soul River. That means I'm gonna build my Soul River into Fulguration as well. But if the game gave me different gems, I'd be perfectly happy putting Induration on one or both of my weapons too. Wave 11, this wave can be pretty dangerous. There's a lot of ranged mobs on this wave, and there's a lot of some of those ranged mobs do really high damage. Like there's a homing missile guy, there's a mortar guy. They will mess you up if you let a couple of them hit you at the same time. Particularly if I have really high range here. I just got lucky with the level ups. If you get here with a little bit lower range, you're probably gonna have to do a lot more manual aiming, and probably all those dark blue guys, and then the spider tanks as well, because they're gonna mess you up. More crit. Triple stack my Blood Temple into the boss. The Last Resort is tempting, because I could technically use more crit, but I do have a lot of crit. You see I have 74% with my Lethal Strike stacked up. So I'm just I'm rerolling for Assurance, but I find Flurry here, and Flurry is also good, so not sad to see Flurry. And the reason is I'm basically like set on boss waves. The bosses they're just gonna melt like instantly. The mob waves, you know, you could always... Assurance just really helps for keeping mob waves under control, especially if you get like a bunch of spawns on top of you, or you start getting bursted down by mobs. But I mean, the mob waves aren't particularly dangerous at this point in the game either. I basically have my full build, and at this point it's just about not killing yourself with Blood Temple for the most part. More crit's great. Got the white gem. Triple stack for the boss. Just make sure you don't quad stack for these bosses, because you're for sure going to get hit once. And if you quad stack and then the boss spawns, it'll probably kill you. But yeah, Clockstopper's still a fun challenge that just keeps on giving. It's cool. I got 0%, or 0 seconds with 2 entirely different builds. Really flexible challenge that I like. I will say, I think Mirage and Sidewinder are particularly well suited to this. Like Bloodfang is kind of bad at this challenge, because the main thing that makes Bloodfang so good is his boost, and obviously you can't boost around without adding time. And also the way his guns are positioned, you'll just shoot through a lot of different mobs. Whereas Mirage, I think the barrel of the gun is positioned like closer to his origin, so it usually hits anything that spawns on top of you. Plus his shifting staff is it's kind of, I know it's an elemental weapon, but it's kind of like a force weapon where it hits something and blows up. So most every single boss that spawns on top of you, your shifting staff will hit it at least. And I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure I picked up Assurance already. But yeah, Assurance, like I said before, it was still really good for just keeping these mob waves under control. I don't know why I picked the elemental damage over the range there, but at this point, I mean, I'm full build. Like, everything basically just dies. I just need to not blood temple myself to death. I don't really care what I build on the shifting staff, but I'm building into another Fulguration just because, Fulguration's good, more burn damage. All the lightstones I've gotten are really nice healing. At this point, I'm like not even really looking at my character or at the mobs or anything. I'm basically just staring at my health bar in the top left and just blood templing every time it looks safe to do so. Like, I don't want to go below half HP just in case, even though I don't think I probably don't take a single point of damage on this whole wave from getting hit from mobs, but I didn't mention it up top. Yeah, I guess I'll just show you after the run ends, but just picking damage in the last guy. Got the last blue gem I needed for the Fulguration, but if I would have missed and turned it into Purification, I wouldn't have been that sad. Triple stack, kill the boss. Since I have so much burn damage, I get to skip the second phase, which is nice. Not that it would add time, but it'd be a little bit more dangerous to have to do the second phase, as attacks do a lot of damage. But here you see the unlocks. I'm on my challenge mode file for this. I made all my challenge mode mechs like just pure black, and my 100% file still has the yellow and teal color scheme. So if I ever don't mention it in the video, that's how you can tell them apart. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.